Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Otto Wallin outboxes Murat Gassiev en route to a 12-round split decision. In doing so, he picks up a WBA trinket, and I'm assuming now he will get a higher ranking because of his victory. Fight itself, relatively competitive. It wasn't terrible, but at the same time, it wasn't memorable. Murat Gassiev took far too long to get going in this fight. He upped the pace in the last sort of 4 rounds or so, 3-4 rounds. But ultimately, he was outfoxed by Otto Wallin for large parts of this fight, in my opinion. In fact, in the first half, he really didn't do all of that much. He was following Otto Wallin around, kind of coming in behind a high guard, loading up on shots one at a time, and ultimately he was far too predictable. And when you fight in that type of style, it's easy to contend with. Otto Wallin, boxing out of that southpaw stance, he was active with his jab. He was taller, he was longer, he was taking the half step back. Sometimes he would throw the 1-2, and he was just outworking Gassiev throughout many of these rounds, just by keeping it long, just by throwing the 1-2. Nothing special, nothing crazy, just 1-2, half step back, 1-2, half step back, jab, half step back, and that's it really. Gassiev was, again, following him around in straight lines, high guard, one shot at a time. Who does that remind you of, by the way, who just fought this past weekend? Literally walking in straight lines, no head movement, but apparently when he does it, uber effective. Nobody can get around it, or nobody can get past it. Otto Wallin, who is not a top 10 heavyweight for my estimation, showed what you've got to do with that type of style. A little movement, a little distance, an active jab, and ultimately you're going to have a lot of success. Otto Wallin actually hurt Murat Gassiev, I believe, in round 6 or 7. He caught Gassiev with, I believe, an uppercut, which backed up Gassiev. He soon got over it, but yeah, Gassiev was hurt in the middle rounds of this fight, and he was totally uninspiring, quite frankly. Last 3 to 4 rounds, Gassiev finally started changing things up. He was throwing more punches. Yes, he was still coming forwards in straight lines, but he quickened his feet up a bit, started to throw more punches in bunches, going from body to head, throwing combinations, and he caught Wallin with some good shots in the last 3 or 4 rounds, but ultimately he started way too late. And yeah, in the last 3 to 4 rounds, he needed a knockout or a couple of knockdowns. But ultimately, Gassiev couldn't make those moments happen, and Otto Wallin won the fight, and rightly so. Not sure how a split decision was the result. Personally, I think one judge had it 117, 111 to Gassiev. No idea how he came to that conclusion. But for me, Wallin won this fight, deserved the win. It wasn't the greatest fight in the world, but Otto Wallin did enough. And yeah, he moves on. Having said that, listen, I can't really see Otto Wallin going much above this level. He's a good, solid, competent boxer. Good jab, good straight left, good understanding of distance, does the basics really, really well. And that's all he needed to defeat the primitive approach of Gassiev. I expected Gassiev's power to be more of a factor in this fight, but the shots that he did land, Wallin took very well. And that was it really, that was a wrap. But it goes to show, this hands up, one at a time approach, all it takes is a little movement and a jab, a bit of distance control, and you're going to give those sort of guys trouble. But instead, sometimes we randomly see guys just sit on the ropes, no movement, giving up all of your advantages for no real discernible reason. Industry illusions, industry illusions. I'm stunned, man. I'm stunned that you see a guy in Gassiev who fought exactly like how Canelo fought against Charlo. And we see how simple it was for Wallin to deal with Gassiev. And nobody's asking questions about Charlo's performance. Instead, no, it's just Canelo was that much better. What was Canelo doing that was high level, high tech? Was he closing the distance quickly? No. Was he using crazy head movement, slipping the punches to get inside? No. Was he jabbing his way in? Not really. He was using a high guard, one shot at a time. And that was enough. That was enough for Charlo to just give up every single advantage he had. I don't know, man. Just a little strange to me. And, you know, people are going to say, well, it's the power of Canelo Alvarez. Charlo was doing that before he was even caught by anything significant in round 1. Just giving up ground, allowing Canelo to walk to him. You guys have to explain this to me, who believe that was a real fight. You guys have to explain what went on there, because I don't get it. Well, I do, but I'll humour you guys who think that was a real fight. Peace.